Welcome to the Hoop Hysteria channel. As the echoes of past roars still reverberate beneath the dome of the Chase Center, a battle destined for the annals of NBA history erupted under the spotlight. The fourth game of the Western Conference semifinals between the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves transcended the ordinary pursuit of victory. It was an epitome of the shifting order in the basketball world, a fated showdown between former royalty and emerging powerhouses. With Stephen Curry sidelined due to a left hamstring strain, the absence of this soul of the Warriors dynasty was like yanking the backbone from the team's tactical framework, intensifying the already palpable tension. The sharp whistle of the referee pierced the charged silence of the arena, and Draymond Green struck first. With his solid footwork, he found the perfect shooting window in mid-range, and the ball swished through the net, giving the Warriors an early lead. But the Timberwolves were no pushovers. Julius Randle responded immediately. A powerful three-pointer announced his offensive intent, followed by a ferocious drive to the basket. Scoring 5 consecutive points single-handedly, he ignited the Timberwolves' offensive blaze. From the opening tip-off, both teams showed a do-or-die attitude. The frenzied back and forth felt like the decisive moments of an entire series condensed into the early minutes. Midway through the first quarter, Green suddenly transformed into an unstoppable sharpshooter from beyond the arc. Standing at the top of the key, his eyes locked on the target, he drained to consecutive three-pointers with deadly precision. Not one to shy away from the boards, he aggressively snatched for rebounds. His performance was a living testament to his role as the team's offensive and defensive linchpin, fueling the home crowd's cheers to a fever pitch. Meanwhile, on the Timberwolves' side, Randle was a force to be reckoned with in the paint. Leveraging his robust frame and polished skills, he powered through the Warriors' defense time and again, easily reaching double digits in scoring within the first quarter. When the buzzer sounded for the end of the first, the Timberwolves trailed by just 1 point. That single-point deficit was like a spark igniting a powder keg, leaving fans on the edge of their seats, eager for what lay ahead. The intensity escalated in the second quarter. Nez Reid and Jaylen Nowell of the Timberwolves caught fire, unleashing a barrage of three-pointers like to precision snipers. Their shots rained down, dousing the Warriors' budding comeback attempt and sending the atmosphere in the Chase Center into a frenzy. But the Warriors weren't about to throw in the towel. Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield formed a dynamic duo, with Butler bulldozing his way through the Timberwolves' defense with his muscular build, drawing fouls, and Hield patiently waiting for his opportunities from the perimeter, answering with smooth jump shots. Their combined efforts gradually chipped away at the deficit, and the Warriors even briefly took the lead. The two teams traded blows, their offensive efficiency staggering. The score seesawed back and forth, and every made basket sent shockwaves through the crowd. With the clock ticking down to the final second of the half, Anthony Edwards delivered a clutch buzzer-beater three-pointer. The ball arched gracefully through the air, and as it dropped through the hoop, the entire arena held its breath. The Timberwolves headed into halftime trailing by just 2 points, 58-60. That narrow margin was a clear signal that the second half would be an even more heart-pounding battle. After the break, the game took a dramatic turn in the third quarter. With the score tied at 68, the Timberwolves suddenly deployed an impenetrable defensive scheme. Their switches were seamless, communication among players was flawless, and every help-defense move seemed perfectly timed, as if they had anticipated the Warriors' every offensive play. Under the Timberwolves' suffocating defense, the Warriors' offense ground to a halt. For 5 excruciating minutes, the Warriors' shots clanked off the rim, and passes turned into turnovers. It was as if a curse had robbed them of their shooting touch. Sensing blood in the water, the Timberwolves pounced. Randle continued to dominate the paint, using his physicality to bully the Warriors' interior defense and draw fouls, while Edwards was money from beyond the arc. His three-pointers were like daggers, piercing the Warriors' heart. A devastating 17-0 run swept over the Warriors, shattering their defense. Despite Jonathan Kuminga and Butler's valiant efforts to attack the paint and stop the bleeding, the Timberwolves' offensive onslaught was relentless. By the end of the quarter, the Timberwolves had outscored the Warriors 39-17, taking a commanding 20-point lead into the final period. This quarter was a game-changer, pushing the Warriors to the brink of desperation. In the fourth quarter, the Timberwolves played it smart. Aware of the hard-fought lead, They were meticulous in their offensive choices and tenacious in defense, maintaining a margin of around 20 points throughout. As the game progressed, both teams began extensive substitutions, giving more bench players a chance to shine. The Warriors' bench players refused to throw in the towel despite a large deficit. They fought tooth and nail to cut into the lead, showcasing incredible tenacity. Jonathan Kuminga, in particular, maintained his scorching form. With powerful drives and thunderous dunks, he electrified the home crowd, desperately trying to jolt his team out of its slump. Yet, the margin was simply too wide, and as the clock ticked away mercilessly, the Warriors' comeback bid grew increasingly arduous. When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read 117-110 in favor of the Timberwolves, who snatched a crucial road victory and took a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. For a moment, the Chase Center fell into stunned silence. Then, the triumphant roars of the Timberwolves players mingled with the disappointed sighs of Warriors fans, bringing this roller coaster of a game to a close. A comprehensive analysis of the game reveals that the Warriors had their moments of brilliance, but also glaring vulnerabilities. Kuminga was undoubtedly the Warriors' brightest spark, a true lone warrior on the court. In 29 minutes of action, he went 6 of -13 from the field and 11 of 12 from the free throw line, amassing 23 points. His offensive prowess was on full display, whether barreling through the Timberwolves' defense with unstoppable drives or knocking down precise mid-range jumpers, constantly keeping their defense on its toes. Whenever the team was in dire straits, he stepped up, becoming the focal point of their comeback attempts. However, basketball is a team sport, and his individual heroics alone couldn't compensate for the massive void left by Curry's absence. Jimmy Butler's performance, on the other hand, was a huge letdown. Going 5 of -9 from the field for 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, with a dismal plus-minus rating of 30, he lacked aggression on offense, taking far too few shots. When the team desperately needed a scoring boost in the third quarter, he failed to shoulder the offensive burden. Defensively, he was unable to contain the Timberwolves' key players, falling short of the team's expectations on both ends of the floor. Draymond Green provided a spark in the first half, knocking down 3-pointers to steady the ship for the Warriors. But in the second half, he became a prime target for the Timberwolves. Julius Randle exploited Green's defensive limitations, using his strength and quick footwork to score at will. Green struggled to keep up with Randle's movements, and his defensive effectiveness plummeted, exposing a major chink in the Warriors' defensive armor. In contrast, the Timberwolves' dynamic duo of Randle and Anthony Edwards ran the show. Randle shot 11 of -21 from the field, including 4 of 8 from three-point range, finishing with 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He was a wrecking ball in the paint, overpowering the Warriors' interior defense and drawing countless fouls, while also maintaining a lethal outside shot. His clutch scoring in key moments kept the Timberwolves' morale high. Edwards was equally sensational, going 11 of -21 from the field and a blistering 6 of 11 from deep, tallying 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. His 3-pointers were the catalyst for the Timberwolves' third-quarter explosion. Oozing confidence, he was a nightmare for the Warriors' defense, equally dangerous driving to the basket or firing from long range. With this dominant victory, the Timberwolves sent a resounding message to the entire league. They were no longer a team to be underestimated and had the mettle to compete with the league's elite in the playoffs. Now, trailing 1-3, the Warriors find themselves on the verge of elimination. Throughout NBA history, only 13 teams have managed to overcome such a deficit, with the last successful comeback dating back to 2020. These dismal odds paint a bleak picture of the Warriors' predicament. Adding to their woes is the uncertain return of Curry, who remains sidelined with a left hamstring injury. As the team's offensive engine and spiritual leader, his absence has severely hampered the Warriors' offensive scheme. His signature 3-pointers and exceptional playmaking skills are the lifeblood of the team's offense. Without him, their outside shooting has suffered, and they lack a go-to player in clutch situations. Even if Curry were to make a miraculous return, the Timberwolves would surely adjust their game plan, ramping up their defensive intensity, leaving the Warriors with a slim chance of turning the tables. Once upon a time, the Golden State Warriors wrote their own legendary chapter in basketball history with a relentless barrage of three-pointers. Their revolutionary small ball style transformed the league, and multiple championship titles solidified their status as a dynasty and the darlings of countless fans. But now, confronted with the Timberwolves' rise, the luster of their once mighty dynasty is beginning to fade. Still, that's the allure of basketball. Until the final buzzer sounds, the outcome remains anyone's guess. Can the Warriors stage a miraculous comeback? Will the Timberwolves continue their Cinderella run and etch their names in history? Stay tuned to the Hoop Hysteria channel as we await the thrilling conclusion of this playoff saga.